Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. It's a real pleasure to share this training segment with you here. As you know, we're starting a new month. Well, we started a few days ago, and we're having a campaign around it and a promotion around it. We'll be talking about this, and folks, just before I start introducing everybody here, understand, folks, that these trainings are really designed to give you some guidelines, right? This is not dictating how you should run your business or run your life. We're sharing with you our experience and how we've made millions of dollars in this industry. And again, I'm not saying that you're going to make that. What I'm saying is we're going to give you the map, the roadmap for you to achieve that. And then the amount of intensity and effort that you want to do is entirely up to you. So, Tammy, let's start by recognizing the folks that are coming, that came in bright and early. We have Marianne and Leo from
Marianne.
the Netherlands, I believe. I knew it's been mentioned somewhere. Anyway, yeah, the Netherlands, it's right there. Welcome, welcome. Great to see you here. Great to have you. And I know you've mentioned if we're going to be talking about the holding tank. No, we're not going to talk much about this, but I can have a little bit of a reference to it. But this is not a training on the back office and the details of the actual websites and things like this. It's more of what you guys need to do to invite and grow and so forth. So again, thank you for bringing this up. Regeneration Zone from Vegas, great to have you here. Thank you for joining in. Enionam from Ghana, thank you for joining in. And I know Enionam, I'm so used to pronouncing your name that way. I apologize. I know it's not perfect. Let's see here. Sylvie, bienvenue de Quebec. Let's see here. We have Courtney from Ontario. Welcome. Let's see. We have Francis. Welcome. Great to have you here. Gideon, welcome. Great to have you here. And we have Michelle. Great to have you here from Switzerland. Beautiful. Great to have you. We have Terry. Thank you for joining us. We have Joseph from Plymouth, Massachusetts. Thank you for joining in. We have Raymond from Pennsylvania. Great to have you here. We have Mary. We have Erwin from Wisconsin. And let's see.
Bien.
We have Stéphane Asselin. Bonjour Stéphane. Bienvenue de la province de Québec. Okay, where are we here? Mathias, bienvenue from Zambia. Awesome. Great. Hey, Luz, great to have you here from Puerto Rico. Are you in Puerto Rico right now or Colombia?
Colombia.
Yeah, she's in Colombia. But I know she's Puerto Rican. So welcome, Luz. Great to have you here. Stephen from Ghana. Great to have you here. And we have Iram from Togo. Oh, bienvenue. Ça va bien? I know Togo is a French country. Okay, folks. So let's get started here with our presentation. And
hey, welcome, Bill. Well, Chris is putting up the presentation. We'll see you today. Well, this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Chris and I are going to a wedding today. My niece is getting married. So right after this session, we're getting
and we have to jump in the car and drive to a wedding.
London. Yeah.
And hey, Bill, and Linda, great to have you guys here. We'll see you guys soon. Okay, so what we're doing here is what we call the October Rush. Okay, so it's a similar event that we did in August, and we saw some amazing growth. We saw some amazing new pin recognition that has been, that's been reached in the month of August. And, campaigns are some of the best thing to really ignite your business or at least get into some kind of momentum. And the key here is to recruit 10 people in 30 days. And folks, don't get all wrapped up on, oh my God, can I do this? Is it possible to do that? What we recommend for you to do is, like I said at the beginning of the call, is we're giving you a roadmap, and then follow the map. It doesn't matter how fast you run. It never is the fastest runner that will win the race. It is always the one that is consistent, right? So moving forward here to the next slide, what we want to cover here on the October Rush, recruit 30 and 10 in 30 days. Very first thing we want to talk about is setting the mindset right. Okay. The right mindset is absolutely critical, folks, because what you think about expand. This is something that Tammy and I have witnessed over and over and over. What you think about expands. So be mindful of what you think about. And what's very important is to have the right mindset as you begin. Then we'll talk about maximizing the daily touch points. Right. And then we'll talk about making friends with your phone. Right. So sometimes we fear they're making the calls. What if they don't want to, they don't like us, whatever the situation. We have to understand and detach yourself from the outcome, but understand the process. This is what's important. Then we'll talk about the current promotion that we currently have with GBU. We got back up. And then what we're going to do here, folks, we're going to walk you through from the first 10 days, right? Day 1 all the way up to day 10. And folks, it's really not hard at all. It's not hard at all. It's all about doing the simple steps and repeating every single day. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you what Tammy and I have done and consistently do. But understand, folks, that this is not dictatorship. Don't feel that you have to do exactly what we do. And if you're not doing it exactly the way we're sharing it, you're not going to have the result. This is not the case, folks. If you even just lift a finger and just start something, you will get some kind of results. And the more you do of that, the more you'll have results. So instead of having nothing because nothing went on in the entire month of October, you may end up having one person signing up, maybe two, maybe three, maybe you'll have your whole 10. But you know what's really cool? What if your team is also part of these sessions? What if your team starts recruiting one a month or once every 2 months? Multiply that by 20, 30, 40, 50. Do you understand that it's a numbers game? And it's the compounding effect that grows an organization. It's not about you doing all the work, but we want to give you the guidelines so you have the right map to get started. Let's talk about mindset, Tam.
Yeah, so the campaign objective, the primary goal is to recruit 10 committed people into your business in the month of October. And you know what, you guys, I'm the one that is push, 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 push. Because honestly, if you want things to grow, you need to show up and you need to take action. At the end of the day, that's the only way to grow the ranks, to grow your income, to grow a team into momentum. It starts with you. I mean, we've done that training on I forget the name of the training, Chris. We've done so many of them. It starts with you at the end of the day, right? So what you do is what people are going to do. Okay, so it's very, very important to engage into any campaign. It doesn't matter, whatever it is, engage yourself, commit to it. Even if you can't commit 100%, commit, you guys. This is the most important thing. Do something in this qualifying month. The more you do, the better it is. The message of urgency is success loves speed. And that is absolutely true. Emphasizes the necessity of prompt actions constantly. If you focus every single day and make a commitment of whatever your schedule is, because we understand that everybody's got a different schedule. Everybody's got a different drive in doing this. What's important, like Chris said, is the consistency. So every single day, put aside at least 30 minutes to an hour. Make it happen, you guys, because there's so many wasted time during the day. Now, there's some of you that are on this session right now, or maybe they're not on the session because all they're doing is focusing on this campaign, and they're just going to drive the hours into this. And we're seeing it already. We're just seeing certain people that are just constantly doing the actions. And kudos to you, because that commitment that you have is going to take you to a whole new level in the business, creating momentum. So I encourage everybody in this session that's watching today to show up and give it more than you would normally give.
And Tammy, you go ahead and do this slide. But just before you begin, folks, I just want to give you just an observation for the past 2 days. Tammy and I are part of the mastermind with Eric Worre. This is a class session where there are, in some cases, there's about 100+ people that are some of the top income earners from it. They all have to be minimum 6-figure income earner, okay, per year. And a majority are in between, that and $1 million a year, and some are $1 million plus. And one thing that is very common is, and the reason I'm telling you this is I want you guys to have a compass so you can have a way to measure the kind of information we're providing to you. What we're sharing with you, it's almost verbatim what they're talking into these sessions. So you're wondering, how can these people make so much money in this business? They are steps. It's basically a science, and it's not complicated. When I say science, I don't want to make this overwhelming. It is not complicated. It is the consistency and a congruency of doing these repeated steps that are encouraged duplication. And the duplication is what grows an organization. If you're wondering, how can you be triple diamond? How can you make this kind of money with $10? How is this even possible? Well, it's all the compounding effect. And the compounding effect increases and becomes more significant as a duplication. But it starts with your mindset, because what you think about and the way you speak and the way you talk and the things you say to others will have an extremely significant impact in their results, because they look up to you. And if you don't see clearly, well, I assure you that your downline will not see clearly, and this keeps going down. So the key here is mindset is everything. It's great to recruit, but if you don't have the right mindset, you're not going to be able to grow this environment in the way that you want to. So back to you, Tammy, on setting the right mindset.
Yeah, it's to be fully committed. It's what's really, really important. Achieving your recruitment goal requires commitment and staying the course, no matter what. I mentioned earlier, every day, set aside hours for this campaign and watch your business grow. And start with the right mindset. You got to have that shift in the mindset. You got to set a goal. What target goal are you going to get to? Are you going to go up one rank? Are you going to go up two ranks? Are you going to go up three ranks? Because we've seen it all. We've seen it all. And those who drive the momentum, not just themselves, but getting their team members involved with that, positive mindset, setting intentions on what you're going to achieve in that day, in that week, and in that month, and the years to come. I'm telling you, focusing on the fundamentals, which is absolutely critical, is the 4 benchmarks. And if you're not copper yet, that's it. You got to get copper ASAP, as quick as possible. Why? Because the team members need to see that it's possible. Your team members need to see that it's possible. Okay. And you got to set time aside. Those who are serious, they're going to put in up to 16 hours a day. We've done it. I know. Anytime Chris and I got really serious and wanted to get to a whole new level, we've always done this. We've just work. We set aside our lunch together, a very short one. I meal plan, so I'm prepared for these campaigns. And there's no distractions, none. Put the phone aside, put the social media aside, put everything aside, except for what you're going to do in growing your business. And if you do that, you're going to see significant results. I'm telling you, just watch the campaign, October Rush campaign in the back office, and see the top people. You'll know who the ones that are making it happen. I think they list like about 100 people. So aim for it, you guys. Very important.
And one thing, folks, that's very important in your mindset. Okay, so one thing is, and I tell that to every single person, as you start recruiting, there are 2 things that are critical for duplication. Number one, install the apps on your phone and your computer and start creating the backup. Why is that so important? Because then it creates an emotional connection to the actual tool, knowing that my stuff is safely stored into the cloud. That emotional connection will maintain their membership. Okay, it's not expensive, but if there's no value, why should I even pay that $10 a month? That's the first thing. Second thing, and that's what we're saying here, is you want to make sure that if someone comes in, they need to understand what is copper. What's the meaning? What I mean by that, 1 on the left, 1 on the right. Why is that so important? Because for you to start earning the second portion of the compensation plan, which is a cycle, which, by the way, the cycle tier 1 increased last month from this month. It was awesome. So the point here is you're in tier 1. You're starting to earn money from the cycle, from the team that's expanding in your business left and right. Okay. So this is very important. And the moment someone sees any kind of money showing into their virtual wallet, if I may say that, until it goes into their bank account, then right away it creates a sense of, I want more. I want to be able to do more. That's very important. That's the right mindset to get things started. So I just want to add this, Tammy. So the other thing that's important here is you want to maximize your productivity, right? So like Tammy and I are going to be traveling to London, Ontario. It's about 2 hours from Toronto. Okay. So I can tell you that there's a few things that's going to happen. I can tell you one thing is my Tesla needs to be updated, right? The map is out of date. So during the commute, my phone is on and my phone's connected, and boom, I download. That's one thing. Might be beside the point, but it's something that I'm making. The other thing that I'm doing is I'm going to be following up some people that I've been in contact with, some people that we've been chatting with. And it's amazing how productive we are within these 2 hours. This is what I mean is that while you travel, just maybe listen to some inspirational or educational audiobooks, whatever this may be for you, that will add to your personal growth. Make this time productive. It's amazing that right now we don't need, there was once upon a time on our calendar, it was a big book that we need to carry. That's non-existent. Well, for most of us now, everything is digital. Whatever I do is digital. So that means that when this goes, well, my entire digital office comes with me. So if I'm in the car, and again, I'm being very, make sure I don't hold my phone, everything is stable. You know what I'm talking about. I want to be safe here. But you know what I'm saying? Make this time productive and use your break effectively. Right? Short breaks. I have to admit that sometimes, monitors tend to throw radiation at your face. Right. So make sure that you wear these glasses that are that will filter the blue light that gets your eyes really tired. Take some breaks. We have this beautiful balcony. We go outside, they open the door and breathe some fresh air, even in the winter, right? And so again, just take some time to recharge a little bit. Like Tammy talked, we take little breaks. And Tammy is amazing when she puts all these meals. She does that on Sunday, and then we're all set for the entire week. Yes, I do other things, but that Tammy is awesome with that. So in this case, what happens here is it's important to take the time to kind of set things up and always ensuring that you're also in constant communication with your prospect all the time. If you send something to someone, you don't hear from you for a week, they're gone. Life gets in the way. You understand that? You have to stay on top of it. And that's what we're going to be doing on day 1 to day 10. We'll just kind of give you the stage right now. And also very important is, maybe during the week you're working and you're tired when you get from work, or the kids, or whatever the situation may be, right? So just book a little bit of time during the week to continue your follow-ups. And then on the weekends, remember, folks, we're working for 30 days to launch your business or to get to another level of momentum. It requires a little bit of engagement, a little bit of sacrifice, but that's your choice. It's entirely up to you. This is not something that's going to build on its own, right? Folks that comes in here and expect the upline to do it for them, they're not going to do well. This is a business. It's your business. If you happen to have spillover, wonderful, great, but that's not what you wait on. So you constantly have to stay engaged and stay in touch with your guests. So these are the things what maximizing your daily touch points. Very, very, very important.
Yeah, make sure your breaks through this campaign are really, really short. I'm tough love here.
Don't get
Make
stuck.
sure they're very short and take advantage. I mean, your phone literally is going to be glued to your hand if you're serious. It's going to be glued to your hand. It's going to be intense if you're serious about doing the campaign. If you want to do it casually, it's totally up to you. And we all, in our industry, we call it a volunteer army. You get to choose how your business is going to grow. We're here to encourage you. Campaigns are here to encourage you to go into momentum. So keep your phone charged. Oh my God, my phone drains so much when we do campaigns. So I always have to have my charger by me, and I have my external charger, and everything's going, and it's a lot of fun, actually, you guys. It's fun when you go into momentum. It's fun when you get a new person started and they want to do the campaign with you, or you got a group of people who want to do the campaign with you, keeping each other accountable. I'm telling you, everybody, keep your phones charged and work it. And that's how you're going to get into momentum, which is what every single one of you desire. It's just a matter of making a decision. It's all a decision, you guys. You guys get to choose how fast you're going to grow this. And I know that when Chris and I started, we grew it fast. Now we've got many people, many leaders, and they're driving their teams right now into campaigns, into momentum, and all of that stuff. And that's the power of duplication. and keep doing it yourself. You want to overcome phone anxiety and build confidence is, you know what? If you constantly talk to people and get to know them and find out what they're looking for in life, and everybody has a phone, so it's easy to talk about a phone and data storage, and you learned about a company that that provides 3 times more value for storage, and create curiosity. That's what I like to do. I like to have fun with this. I like to create curiosity where they're going to ask me questions. Okay, so practice, practice, practice is what's going to make perfect. Okay, constantly practice. I still practice, you guys. I still practice. And every conversation is never the same conversation. You can have a guideline of a script, but often the conversation may go into a different direction, right? So, and also utilize communication tools, leverage one-on-one meetings, leverage the webinars constantly, invite, 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 invite. Your goal is to prospect as many people as you can and invite them to the presentations. Become a master inviter. That's what you're going to become in this month. For those of you who are brand new, that's all you're going to spend your time doing is prospecting, inviting. With the follow-up process, you're going to have your leader work with you and help you create the bigger vision on getting people started right. Those of you who know what to do, you're just going to be driving it and being that person for your team members. So let's do this, you guys. I'm super excited.
So as we begin here, here's a benchmark that you can rest on, which these contests, right? Got Back Up throws these amazing cash contests. And this is awesome. Basically, 10 people can win some cash, starting with $500 first place, right? $300 second, $200 third, $100 fourth, and then fifth to 10, $50. This is awesome. And by doing these things, you are building your downline, you are building your team, you are building your residual income. So the folks that are doing well in Got Backup are people that are very focused on producing coppers. Because you don't need to understand the whole comp plan, folks. Every time someone comes in, you make sure you understand to become copper. And as you're doing this, your team will start growing. It will impact your binary. It may not seem a lot when you cycle 4 times. I can appreciate that. But for those of you, if you happen to be a Canadian, and I'm not saying that RRSPs are good investments, but for me, it's what we call an insurance policy. If all fails, well, at least I have this retirement things that will come in on top of, whatever else that comes my way. But what's really important here is that you have some guidelines and you have some directions, right? So my point there, right now you're seeing here 24 days, 27 days. It's actually 26. That picture was taken yesterday. So folks, you got basically almost an entire month to work on this. And just keep duplicating the process. Keep duplicating the process. There's one gentleman I've done by the name of David. Dave actually came in and doing very well, recruiting left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. And then we sat together and we had about 2 or 3 or 4 sessions. And I explained to him exactly how his income could change if all the people that came in would qualify for copper. And suddenly, boom, after the 3rd session, he got it. Within the next 2 weeks, he hit gold. He's a recruiter. But the way he was recruiting, it was all based on sell, 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 sell. So even though you brought in 50, 60 people, if nobody qualifies for copper, you're going to get a lot of $50. It's awesome. But the goal is to get an income monthly. And for this to happen, you need to start cycling. You need to start having some compression bonuses. You need to start seeing some matching checks, which triggers when you're a sapphire. And that occurs when you produce coppers. And as you produce coppers and your leaders produce coppers, this will move you up the ranks. And that's how you're in position. It's not because you're a diamond, you're going to make all the money. You could be a diamond and make very little money. Because if your team does not duplicate because you hit diamond one time, but nobody duplicates, there's not going to have a solid residual income. So important, folks, use these cash contests as fuel to drive the fire, to drive the momentum. That's what it's for. But the bottom line is install the software. I'm going to repeat that a few times. Make sure that they're connected to the use of the product and they have an emotional connection towards it. And number two, that they understand that I need to recruit 2 people, one on the left, one on the right, unless you just want to be a customer. That's totally cool too. Okay. So anything else you want to add to this, Tammy?
Nope, that's good. Just let's run with it, you guys. At
Day
the
one.
end of the day, it's not even about the cash, honestly, Chris. It's fun to have some extra money, that's for sure. But the goal is to go into momentum, right? And then the next campaign, whatever it is, again, you do the activities, go into momentum with your team members. The more you run with these campaigns, the faster you grow in your income, in your ranks, and helping your team members do the same. So day one, I actually sent out on the group, the Telegram group, and some of you are part of a few of our WhatsApp groups, but I did send out an initial version, and I've modified the version, but I will send it out in the Telegram group, and I'll also put it on the Facebook group when we're in our travels today on the update on, I did some updates on some scripts and stuff. And so the goal here, you guys, if you haven't started the October Rush, you may have heard about it just when Joel put the email out. Some of you are going to catch the recording and hear about this on October 15th. Okay. But at the end of the day, day one is the day you start. Mm-hmm. Okay. So the sooner the better at the end of the day. Okay. So what you want to do is identify 20 to 30 potential leads. Okay. You got to work your list, constantly working your list of your contacts, and your friends, your family, your coworkers. If you don't want to talk to these people, no worries. But I can guarantee you somebody else will. They're going to be in Got Backup and you'll go, oh my gosh, I should have contacted them. I'm telling you, this stuff happens in the industry all the time. Even family members, believe it or not. I've seen it over and over and over. 2 family members in 2 different organizations because you were too afraid to talk to your sister or your brother or your uncle or your aunt, whatever. I'm telling you, they're going to hear about this. They better hear it from you first, even if they're not interested, because when they do hear it from somebody else, they remember that you talked to them about it. Okay. And social media contacts, absolutely. A lot of people are doing business on social media. It's easy to have conversations on social media. When you do your posts, you create curiosity posts, you ask questions, you get them to comment. From the comments, you can send a private message. From there, you can have a conversation, and that's where it all happens. Okay? So get really focused, engage in talking to people. Your first day one, as many as you can. Okay, talk to as many people as you can. Text as many people as you can, just to reconnect and go from there. Message people as many as you can. And you know what? We put a 20 and 30 potential leads, but you know what? Don't stop. You know, a lot of people have minimal mindsets. Oh, I got my 20 now, I'm good. No, keep going. If you have time, keep going, because you're going to have a day where you're not going to be able to be as productive, right? So you want to constantly connect with people. And then, you know, I put this example message, but I did upgrade that message. The key is to connect with people and ask them if they've heard about Got Backup. Most people have never heard about Got Backup. And you talk about the affordable service. And most people, honestly, every single person I've talked to said, send me your link. I have not got one person that said no. They said, send me your link. I'm curious. That's a great deal. Send me your link. Okay. So if you're going to get people that say no, that's fine. You let it go. You keep moving. Don't get emotionally attached. Promise me you're not going to get emotionally attached this month to anybody who doesn't see the big picture, anybody who doesn't want extra storage. Don't get attached to it. Move on. Keep talking to new people, okay? Because those new people are what's going to get you excited. And the more yeses you get, the more success you have, okay?
Wonderful. I
So
mean, just go ahead.
yeah, and don't forget to send your link, and don't send the company link. Okay, you have to have your username, your ID in your link, because I've had people that I had to fix things because they didn't put their username. They didn't go and get their link. So we had to fix that with the company to make sure that they were personally sponsoring that person, because they were saying, I don't know where they are. Well, they joined through the company. That's why. So make sure that everybody in your team, including yourself, have your links ready to go and your message ready to go. It's just a copy and paste, you guys. Okay.
So what's really important here, folks, again, is just to make the connection. And folks, what we're giving you is, remember, these are guidelines. We're not telling you or dictating you what you need to do. You choose what you want to do. We're giving you guidelines. Tammy and I breed leadership. We've done well in this business. There's a reason why we've done well in this business. In my career, I've built 3 big network marketing companies. Well, let me rephrase that. 3 big teams in network marketing companies. And what we're sharing with you, you're not, let me rephrase that. I know these courses don't cost anything, but there's an expression where learning on your dime, you're learning from our experiences, from real, tangible results, not just theory, real, tangible results. And the folks, remember that when you're talking to people, what's going to happen, and I know how you feel, because I remember how I used to feel. I remember I've been in the supplement industry for years, and I love my supplements. I do not want to live without them. I love my special water, right? And I love my special supplements that I'm eating every day. It's one of the reasons why Tammy and I feel great. We look great, right? And we're like in our 60s. I'm 58 and so forth. But the point here is I feel fantastic. We train with 20-year-olds. Why is that? So it is important, but the majority of folks out there, they're not educated on these things. So sometimes it's a bit of a tough sell. But here's what's an easy sell. Everybody has something like that. Everyone.
Everybody has a phone. Yeah,
Everyone has
everybody
issues where, excuse me the expression, damn, I got to spend more money on this cloud that Apple or Google Drive or whatever, and people get irritated by that. So what we're doing here is we're offering something that is very cost efficient, and the software is fantastic. It's running really nicely. My point in saying here is it's an easy sell, and they don't have to put aside $500 to $1,000. It's $100 a year, guys, to get stuff. So, or $10 a month, depending on how you want to look at it. Tammy and I basically sell the year packages. But my point in saying here, folks, it's not a hard sell. So it's just for you to be comfortable around what we have and just kind of talk to your social environment about what we have. And then the day 2, and then you follow up with the people that you send video to, right? This is that you sent on day 1. Remember, even though we happen to be on, whatever, the 5th of the month right now, that's 5 days. It's okay. Today's your day is day 1. Start from there. Right? And ask if they had a chance to watch the video. Just simple. Just be yourself. Don't try to read a script or be someone else. Be who you are. And just the way you communicate. Hey, have you had a chance to look at the video? What did you like best? You know why I asked this question? Why did you like best? Because it's a positive mindset. If you say, what do you think? And you're talking to someone who's always looking at things on a negative point of view, well, they're going to get negative feedback because that's how they run their lives. That's how they think. That's how their blueprint is designed to respond. And that's totally okay. I'm not saying that's right or wrong. What I'm saying is if you want to have a positive outcome, start with a positive approach that will kind of encourage what did you like best? How do you turn that into a negative, right? So it's kind of hard. Well, I kind of like this. And I like the fact that 6 terabytes for the price of 2. That's pretty cool. And that's how you can start a conversation, right? So, and if this is the, they said yes, well, great. What do you like best? And, in some cases, would you like to get started? Because it's so inexpensive. Would you like to get it installed? She can show you how to install the software. I'm right to the point. Okay, that's how I do it. But if they say no, when would you have a chance to look at it? I'd love to follow up. This is really, really cool. This is a good, important project. And again, some may just want to be a customer, right? They've done their part for King and Country and they've done their money and everything else. That's cool. But they all have devices and they all need to be backed up. So the key is to follow up, not in a week from now. When someone says, call me back in a week, this is a way to deflate or to deviate. What's the word I make? What's the expression on that in English? To brush off, right? It's a polite way of brushing you off. A week from now, are you kidding me? So in this case, here's what I'm going to do. In a week from now, I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to send you that same link, and then let's follow up from there. This is my response. Okay, just again, food for thought. So day 3, Tammy.
Yeah, and you don't say, "Are you kidding me?"
No, it depends who you talk to, right? It depends who you talk to. That's
the people are busy, right? So I've talked to people who just started a new job, right? And you know that they're busy, so you just put them on your list to follow up, right? You got to respect people's time, right? And timing has to work for them. That's why the numbers are there. You do the numbers, you guys, and you got to be organized. Keep track of the people that you're contacting and the conversations you're having to get them to move to the next step, which is what we're talking about right now. Okay, so you want to reach out to the people who are existing, and you want to make sure that they're invited to a live presentation. At the same time, on day 3, continue talking to new people. Every day you should be talking to new people and increasing your list of people that you're communicating with. Okay. So invite. As I mentioned, you could say we're having a quick live presentation, whether it's tomorrow or the next day. That's going to explain everything about how Got Back Up works. And what I love best, you can share, the CEO of the company is going to be doing the presentation on Wednesday evening. Or you can say our leader is doing a team presentation on this day. And so that's when you say, can I count on you? You know, are you in? Are you going to come and join us? Or whatever you want to say, and send them your link. And let them know to click on the link the hour or few minutes before the time of the presentation. Okay, because I've had people click on a day prior just to see, and then it's something else, right? So make sure that they click on a few minutes before the presentation and they're in the presentation. And I even go to the next level. I say, hey, do me a favor. Say hi to me in the chat, in the comment section. Just say hi to me. And I know that they're on, right? If they say hi to me. So these are little things that you can do to make sure that they're on.
And see, guys, what we're kind of walking you step by step, day by day, on exactly what we're doing. Okay. So day 4 is invite to the live presentation. I know that we have lots of videos, and I mean, there's plenty of videos. If you look at the playlist, I keep track of all. Eventually, I'll start removing some of the older ones here, but all the presentations are there, right? You have the English, you have the French, you have the Italian, and soon the Spanish, and so forth. But the difference between a video is not live, right? But when you are live, there are people commenting in real time right after the speaker said something. If you look at some of the wonderful comments, and thank you, all of you, for commenting. I really appreciate the participation. And read some of the comments. In fact, read them all. And they're wonderful comments. And sometimes they will compliment, even add on, and something maybe Tommy didn't even share or said. So take advantage of the live sessions. I'm telling you, it is night and day compared to watching a video. Watching the video, don't also undermine that, because sometimes the time zones won't work, and that's understandable. But I'm telling you, live, it is nothing to replace that, right? For those that haven't commented, invite them to the live schedule presentation, right? And use the follow-up message to encourage the attendance. It's always encourage, and remind. I'm huge on reminder. If you happen to be on the Telegram and we're about to do a training or a presentation, have you noticed how many times I will say, hey, we start in 1 hour. See you in 2 hours. Hey, guys, 30 minutes. Hey, by the way, we're starting in 5 minutes. Okay, we are live. Join us now. This is by design. right? Some of you may say, too many messages. Okay, fine. Not everybody is serious with the business, and I respect that and completely understand that. But some of us are really serious, and we want to make a real living out of this. So I want to make sure that people are notified. One thing I noticed that Joel does, notice when he sends the email for an event, they're 15 to 10 minutes prior. Brilliant. Why? Because often people don't know where to click. They don't know where the link is. How do I join this video? And then they open their phone. It's right there. Boom. They click on it. Yep. They turn their phone sideways and they have the full presentation view. You understand what I'm saying? So again, it's all by design. So, and we'll come back to that. So on day 4 is always invite them to a live presentations. It has an enormous value. That Tammy shared, it's awesome when they turn around and say, hey, Tammy, how are you? Or hey, Chris, or whatever. And at that point, they tell you they're there and you know they're receiving the information live. Like on Wednesday, Joel has a different, we all do the same presentation, but he has some insights, right? Some things that are coming up, some things that are working on. Friday, Tammy and I do a standard presentation. It's consistent. It is the same presentation. This is not designed to entertain people that's been in the business for 3 years. Well, let me phrase that. For 2 years, right? It's like, well, why don't you do something new? Well, it's not for the person who's already in. It's for the people that are guests that are looking at it for the first time. That's why repetition is key. One thing that Eric Worry event, I bring this up because it was fresh from yesterday. The guy said, I've been doing the same presentation for the past 20 years. Same thing. Seven-figure income earner. Okay. So I'm not throwing numbers here to try to brag. It's to impress upon you that this is real, this industry here. So this gentleman here has been doing the same thing for 20 years. That I'm telling you, people will gravitate to consistency and congruency. That's really important. Back to you, Tammy, on day 5.
Yeah. So when it's presentation day, you want to ensure that the prospects are going to attend. Don't just assume. Okay. Never make assumptions for anything. Invite, send them a message, send them your links, send them the time, and just confirm that they're going to be attending. Okay. People are busy and they forget. They forget, especially when it's not that important to them. They are curious, but they don't really know why they should be so excited, right? And so you want to make sure that you're having that contact, that connection. And I always text people, like when I'm in communication to invite them. Let's say it's Sunday. If I wanted to invite them to Wednesday night, I'm going to let them know. I'm going to remind them the day before, and then I send them that quick message an hour before the presentation. So they see that I'm serious with my business. When you're organized, people see that you're serious, and people want to do business with people who are serious. Okay, that not just on the fly all the time, not organized. People are looking to do business with serious people. And so it's important to do that and always let them know, which is something I do all the time, that immediately, like after the presentation, you want to make sure that you send them a thank you for being part of it. Or I like to tell them that we can hop on a Zoom right after, because I wanted to make sure that all their questions were answered. And if you can do that or get on a call with them, doesn't matter what it is, follow up immediately when they see the information. Okay. And if you can catch somebody to do a call with you, one of your leaders, it's best to let them know that you're expecting guests on the session. They're confirmed. Even send them a quick text during the presentation and say, my guest showed up. Would you be available after to help me answer some questions? So you can leverage as much as you can. And when you're new, when you've been in it for a long time, you don't need to do that to bring somebody into the session. But it's always good to have a third party, because they sell the bigger picture, And so that's it. And I recommend you guys to learn the presentation. Mm-hmm. Because those who present are the ones that make the most money.
Remember, Tammy, when we had this conversation about was that 20 years ago?
When I was new, Chris and I, we had a breakfast together, and I was so hungry and eager to succeed in the network marketing space. And he said that when you get in front of the room, back then it was all hotel meetings. When you are the
Mhm.
presenter, that's when you're going to do extremely well. So I learned how to present. I learned how to train. I didn't have any of these skills. And now it's constant. So if somebody, if I want to do a presentation, I can do a presentation in an hour from now with anybody because I learned how to present. And you know what? They like it. They like it because it's a personal connection. They can ask you questions more personally, and it makes people feel good when they feel important, right? So if you're presenting or you're learning how to present, this is your best time to practice. And then you could always invite them to the big picture when it takes place on a Wednesday. But I don't like to wait. I like to get my presentations done. When they're interested, let's book a Zoom. Let's get on. I'm going to present, period.
So on day 6, folks, is following up and handling objections. So if you'll notice that on this training, on the comments segment, right, you can actually, I'm referencing the playlist called the Success Cycle series, which has the prospecting, inviting, following up, and handling objections. Just listen to those trainings, folks. I mean, you got everything in your hands to be able to earn a 6-figure income a year. I'm not saying you're going to make this, folks. What I'm saying is the knowledge that's there based on our experience and based on the amount of people we've trained over the years, someone can earn a 6-figure income yearly, right? That's not that much money. That's around $8,000 a month. And we know with our current inflation and situation in our economy, there's not that much left after you're done paying your government, right? It's just the way things are. But of course, there's ways to deduct and invest and everything else. That's completely beside the point. My point I'm trying to say here is that you want to be educated and have the foundational elements for you to be able to grow your business. So follow up with all who attend in the presentations. Don't just assume that they have your link, they're going to sign up. People need to be, it's a bit unfortunate, but it's the reality. People need to be grabbed by the hands, and you need to walk with them the first few steps. It's not necessarily because they don't know how. They're just not motivated into it. Maybe the belief level is not there. Maybe they just don't, they just don't fully understand what they're looking at. It makes sense, right? Maybe they were excited for 5 minutes, and their significant other turn around and went all negative on them. I mean, who knows what might have happened? And this happens because, let's face it, people have tried things and things don't always work out. And you remember what didn't work out, and you tend to stick with that. It's unfortunate, but it will affect your future. But the fact here is following up is absolutely critical. Handle questions and objections. Many may have. And honestly, folks, objections, I love them because it's really, I'm interested, but I'd like to do it, but, and that's in the way. That's in the way. And as you handle these objections, you can iron out all these little things and emphasize the benefits, such as 6 terabytes for $10, if I may round it off, right? It's secure to give you a peace of mind where your data is safe. And also, folks, there's an income opportunity. Some folks may say, well, what's the big difference between you and everybody else? Really? The only thing is your income. Are you kidding me? This is an income opportunity that can turn around and completely change your lifestyle, where you can turn around and do whatever you want in your life if you have the income that provides you the opportunity to do all of these things. This income opportunity is not just another check compared to all the benefits of the tool. This is a life-changing opportunity. Most companies don't offer that because they're not designed, their business model is not designed to pay associates or their customers, if I may leave it that way, with this kind of income. But again, this income is not just going to come in because you're signed up. I absolutely love this comp plan because this comp plan, and I'm thank you to Randy. I mean, it's a brilliant comp plan because as the company grows in value, in their profits, it is shared with us. But when you have just a couple thousand people, you're not going to make hundreds of thousands. It doesn't work. It doesn't make sense. So, but if the company turns around and starts having, over 100,000 members, do you understand how that will impact up to 75%? I'm not saying up to 75% of compensation plan is paid. So I'm just adding a bit more information here for you to understand how to deal with objections when people come in and they're asking you these kind of questions that may throw you off a little bit. You need to understand what you have, what we offer. So that way you become a lot more persuasive. And it's reason why we tend to convert almost everybody, because it doesn't make sense not to do this for this price. Number 7, Tammy, day 7.
Yeah. So day 7, it's the close. It doesn't have to be day 7. It could be day 1. You never know when people are ready. People are going to join when they're ready. And what's important is to guide them to make a decision. At the end of the day, you want a decision. Either they need time for whatever reason, or they're ready to get started. Then put them in. Don't continue selling them on something when they're ready to get started. Get their information, and because I've seen people talk people out of it. And so it's very important, the moment they make a decision, ask for the sale. Ask if they're ready to get started. And you can say, sounds like Got Backup is a great fit for you. Let's get you started. And stay silent. That's when it's possible an objection is going to come up. Well, I need to talk to my husband first. Great. Let's set up a session and let's talk to your husband or your wife. And Chris and I, when we have somebody who needs to bring a spouse into the picture, I tend to bring Chris into the picture. So we see that couple dynamic. So if you're not a couple, bring somebody into the picture too, that third party validation. So it's nice to have that. And that's it, you guys, is to be really comfortable to ask. If you don't ask, you don't get. Mm-hmm. Ask and you shall receive. You all hear that, right? Ask and you shall receive. So ask.
So day 8, we're coming to an end here, folks, right? So remember, next Saturday, we're going to be talking about day 11 all the way up to, the next segments of 10 days. So, and you will find that there's a lot of repetition here, folks. That's the thing, right? We may seem like, wow, that's a lot of steps. No, it's just repetition. Don't give up. Every day, do something towards building your business. So reach out, day 8. So you reach out to any remaining leads who have not responded yet, right? Who haven't watched your videos. That's where the work is, folks. Initially, if you don't send information or connect to anybody, then on day 8, there's nobody to follow up with because you haven't done the step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So very important you follow up. But there's always going to be a selected few, and you may be surprised on how many conversion you may do if you're diligent with who you send information to, and not just kind of put down a piece of paper, put in your pocket, and put your clothes in a dish, and not the dishwasher, in a washing machine, and then you lose the full number. Make sure that you're organized with your data as you connect with people, right? And then that's the reason why every time there's a prospect or a new associate, they go into my Got Backup email legacy email system. So I can stay in touch with them on a regular basis. Hell, by the way, there's a presentation Wednesday. Oh, there's a presentation on Friday. Hey, we're doing a training on Saturday. You should come and check us out. Constantly. And people say, wow, you guys are really serious about that. Let's talk about this. Let's do a Zoom session. This happens a lot, folks. So continue to engage with those who attended a presentation but haven't signed up yet. Stay connected with these guys. And just keep adding, keep dripping what we have here to offer. And it's the compounding effect that will grow. You know what blows my mind a bit? In Canada here, we have what we call an RRSP investment. It's not a great investment. It's more like an insurance policy. If everything fails, then whatever money you put there, then you get it's like you defer your taxes and you pay later. And people are going to turn around and wait 40, 50, 60 years to collect this stuff. What we're talking about here with Got Backup, it's a compounding effect that may take maybe 2 years, maybe 3, maybe 4, maybe 5, maybe more. But the folks, if you're doing this in a regular basis, I'm telling you, it won't be 5, but it's a lot quicker than that. But the point here is if you encourage a duplication, the compounding effect increases a lot faster than if you're Canadian, an RRSP. I'm telling you. Okay. And as the companies start adding more products and services and ideas that comes in, and folks, you should see what we're working on right now for the communication on the back end to really encourage the team support. You guys are going to love what's coming. Just stay the course. Don't be all weary on the problems in here and it's not working. That's all knickknacks. All of that gets resolved. And when it's resolved, then what you've built and what's compounding will compound exponentially. That's the difference. That's where the millionaires and the top income earners are made. I'm not saying you're going to be there. What I'm saying is that you can we're drafting a map for you to go in that direction. That's what we're doing here. So Tammy, as we finish day 9.
Yeah. So final push. That's the key, is to work on whoever you've connected with in the first batch, your first 10 days. And remember, every single day, talk to new people. It's a consistent effort of talking to new people. So make that final push and get people started right. Okay. And then share, obviously share value. People want value, especially in today's economy. Value is so important. People are holding on to their money. If you show them value, that they're going to get 3 times more, they can add their family members. People get excited. They get excited and they want value. All right. So share the huge benefits of why they want to do this, and then get them started. Get them started and let them know that there's incredible trainings, recorded lives. There's presentations going on all the time. All they need to do is invite people to go to the presentations and get them in. Get them in. Use your influence to get them in. Use your excitement, your passion, and your story. You might have a story of somebody who did something really amazing. You might want to share a story in that. So the key, honestly, is to practice. And the best way to practice is to talk to people every single day. Those who are doing that and learning the presentation and actively building are the ones that are going to develop such incredible skills that everything is easier for them. Often people say, well, it's easier for you. Yeah, of course it's easier for us. We've been doing this for 28 years. For us, we don't even think about it. We just go out there and do it. But at the beginning, it took effort. It took getting out of our comfort zone. It took, talking to strangers, not so easy, right? And how do we share this without, with our family members or our friends, without them thinking we're a bunch of idiots joining MLM, right? So these are all the things that you'll learn by showing up to the trainings, but apply everything that you learn and learn your way. Have your own technique, have your own unique way of connecting with people. And embrace that, you guys. You're all unique.
I totally agree. And as we come on last slide here, folks, we're just 3 minutes to the top of the hour, so we're right on time, is celebrate and onboarding, right? This is what's really awesome. In God Backup, you have the opportunity to create a beautiful little flyer for a brand new member, or a beautiful flyer for all the different pin levels. I used to say the rank levels. I'm still stuck with the name pin from my past. The ranks that are offered, we got back up, and celebrate those. I'm trying to do it, but it's difficult for me to do it all because the entire company is not underneath Tammy and I, so we can't do it for everyone because we don't have everybody's. It's not our downline. So you as a leader, you want to be responsible. Be responsible. If you sponsor someone into this business, make sure that you're not missing an action and they can't get a hold of you. It's an investment. They trusted you and they got involved. Even if you're doing some email marketing campaign, you don't know who they are. They just signed up. Well, at least have the, if I may be bold, have the decency to thank them for signing up. I know some of you probably do that. Some of you maybe don't. Just thank them for signing up. and then make sure that they get an onboarding message. That's one thing I love about God Backup. The moment they activate, they end up into my lists of my enrollee, and I send them an email to welcome them, a little video that Tammy and I did to welcome them. And then they receive about 15 different, no, about 10, about 10 emails that will just give them some feedback, some details, and, you know what I mean, to stay in touch. And of course, every time I do a training or a presentation, they receive that. And make sure that the moment they enroll in that email, they have the link for accessing the board. Now, the board is, I know there's a bit of a curveball that they throw where you can only have one board now. If you try to have another board, then it says, well, you need to pay. So sometimes it's, or choose which board you want to have access to. It's a bit of a drag. Unless you start, you create another email with, you know, another account, it's fine. But my point in saying here is we're solving this issue with God Backup. There's a system that we're putting in place where you'll have access, and you're going to love what's going on. It is in French, it is in English, it is in Spanish, it is in Italian, and of course in English. And you click the button and everything is changed instantly. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. It's all about support, communication, duplication. And that's how we're going to grow an organization in a billion-dollar corporation, which in turn will feed a lot of people around the world to live a better quality of life. So in closing, Tammy, any thoughts that you want to share as we finish?
Yeah, just follow the guidelines of the document on the daily steps, and every day talk to new people. Every day you're going to have a follow-up process and inviting process, and constantly talk to new people. Okay, don't just talk to a few and then wait for the process to happen. Keep bringing people in. We call this the pipeline. Keep bringing them in the pipeline. They're going to follow through the pipeline, and at the end of the pipeline, there's decisions for them to make. It's either yes, they're on board, they're, you know, they need to come up with some funds, or maybe it's not for them right now. And all of the answers are perfectly fine. I mean, you can try and convince people. I don't like to convince people. If the timing's not working for them, most likely they're not going to do anything anyways, right? So I always make sure that I'm constantly talking to new people. If you're constantly talking to new people, you're never going to get stuck. You don't get stuck because you're too busy. You're too busy talking to new people, inviting people to presentations, helping your team members. Chris and I, at this point, we're helping a lot of team members, bringing people on board, and we're seeing, you know, always our emails like are flooded with somebody just got started, somebody just got started, somebody just got started. So, you know, as you grow, you're going to help a lot of team members get started, and you're going to help a lot of team members bring people into the business. So, yeah.
And you'll find that as you are bringing new people to the table, you're too busy to handle the drama. So
Always.
just stay the course here, folks. There's some wonderful things that are ahead. And Tammy and I have been in this industry for a long, long time. And we got a great, great project with Got Backup. The future is bright. Stay the course. Keep moving forward. And don't get hung up and caught up into the little things that will get in the way of the bigger things for you. So have yourself a wonderful rest of your weekend. Tammy and I right now are off to our wedding. And we'll talk to you soon, guys. Bye for now.
Bye, guys.